Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
What do you call a sneaky broker? A rate ninja. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chat Finance Fridays edition. So no surprises this week. The RBA have left their interest rates on hold. The data in regards to inflation and net unemployment, they're both increasing at the moment. So are we looking at the end of a rate cycle, like rate easing cycle? Most of the banks are saying that rates are going to remain on hold. If they are going to move, they're saying that it would most likely be May 2026, so probably mid next year. Morning, Justin. Thanks for joining me. But at this rate, with inflation constantly increasing, but at the same time unemployment also increasing. Now there's, I guess, some good news around job advertising. There's been an increase in about 1.6% increase in jobs that have been advertised, even with unemployment rising. So it will be an interesting time between now and the end of the year. I mean, we all don't get our Christmas presents of having a rate cut this side of the year. I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to start planning on lending and restructuring their finance and seeing what they can and can't do based on the current rate, the current RBA rate at the moment. Not to say that there's some of the lenders aren't adjusting their internal rates. We've had plenty of news this week in regards to NAB increasing their proprietary channel. That makes CBA, NAB, and Westpac all saying that they're focusing more on their proprietary channel and stepping away from brokers, which I think is super interesting, considering that brokers write now almost 80% of all loans. The banks are obviously the banks have some other strategies. We're always happy to work with the banks, but we often find that They do have some great policies. However, they are not always great in terms of interest rates, even though we can negotiate those rates with them. So, with all that in mind, this week I wanted to have a quick chat about auctions, because there has been a considerable amount of increase in the amount of auctions going on, and the actual auction clearance rate has increased to 72%, and last year it was at 59, or it was at 60% last year. So definitely more properties going to auction, and definitely more auctions being cleared in terms of the price being accepted. If you're looking to head into an auction, what do you need to know? And there are 5 things. There are 5 key things that I want to have a quick chat about today to make sure that you go into your auction fully prepared. Now, the first thing is we have to know how much we can borrow. Conversation with your broker to run some numbers. Based on those numbers, we want to then set a budget. What we want to do is make sure that we go in knowing what is the absolute maximum we're going to purchase this property for. And what happens sometimes is we get caught up emotionally, and we get to the end, and we're so close to getting this property. An extra 5,000, extra 10,000 will get us over the line. And I've had clients in the past where we end up, $50,000, above what their original limit was, which then means we have a different conversation in terms of, do you still have enough borrowing power to increase the loan from, say, an 80% to a 90% to cover the increased purchase price? Does the increased purchase price affect the LVR? Have you overpaid for a property? So setting a budget is vitally important. And after that, what you want to do is actually get a pre-approval from a lender. So you want your brokers to go and actually have to get the pre-approval, and the pre-approval you want is subject to the valuation only. Okay, we want to make sure that they've checked everything else, and the only thing that's outstanding is the contract of sale. Now, the fourth thing to do is actually get a copy of the contract of sale and send it to your legal team to actually review the contract. We want to make sure that there's nothing in the contract that needs to be negotiated, because once you win the property at the auction, you actually sign and exchange the 10%, and there's no finance calling off period, which means if you don't complete the purchase, you lose the 10%, which means then you don't actually have any time to review the contract after the auction. So get the contracts in advance and send it to your legal team to review. And the last thing that not everybody gets around to doing is getting the actual reports. So the building and pest inspections on homes, townhouses, or strata reports on apartments. We want to have this to know exactly what condition the property is in before we make a commitment to purchasing the property. Oftentimes, we've had clients who have won properties at auction and then later on completed a building and pest inspection and realized that there was some termite damage, which resulted in them in having to fork out more money. So I think it's important. Like, to me, those are the 5 things that you have to do to get ready to attend an auction short and sweet for me for this Friday. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Have a wonderful Friday, and I will catch up with you all next week.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.